Thank you for joining this webinar, and we are going to discuss about the latest development on the interpretation of Article 101 and which is the approach which has been used by the European Commission and the European Court of Justice in some important cases. In particular, we will focus on the European Super League, and then we will look at the pharma sector. You may have already heard, you may be familiar with the pay for delay cases, but we will discuss in a little bit more detail also in light of the new policy of the European Commission. And in the second part of this webinar, we will indeed look at the new horizontal guidelines, which you may know have been adopted in 2023. And they are important because on the one hand, they give an overview of which has been the case law of the European Commission and the Court of Justice in some important cases, and in particular, what has been done for the chapter on sharing of commercial sensitive information. And on the second part, we will look at the standardization and the sustainability agreements, which you may be familiar with, but now with the new competition commissioner, Ms. Ribera, are really important because there is a lot of attention, in particular on sustainability in competition law and then also in other areas. So for competition law practitioners, it's really important to keep that new chapter in mind. So let's start with the first part of this webinar, and in particular, we will look now at the European Super League judgment, and we will discuss whether or not it departs from what was said in the previous judgment in Butters and Mecca Medina, and in particular on whether certain types of agreements can be considered as a restriction of competition by object, or whether they can indeed be justified because they pursue some objectives which are not strictly economic objectives. And as I said initially, this is really important if we consider now the new policies and the relevance of also sustainability goals in competition law analysis. So what happened in European Super League?